is there a lack of urgency for insulin for people with type 2 diabetes? And if so, like, what does that mean? What has that done? Is that delayed, or is that maybe eclipsed the need for insulin for all? And what is the overall situation there related to type 2 diabetes around the world?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, there's always this concern and this issue with a general lack of understanding of diabetes, whether it be type 1 or type 2. I know I've talked with a lot of different people about the media perceptions, and I feel like I can't watch a television show these days without there being some sort of offensive and inaccurate joke about diabetes. And, it's not clear which type, and regardless of which type it would be, it wouldn't be appropriate. So there is this, I think, universe here from a lot of people around the world, is just this lack of understanding. And so when it comes to putting that in the context of access to insulin or diabetes, I think, in general, whether it's type 1 or type 2, there is a lack of urgency, which people don't understand, that you can die very quickly in a matter of sometimes hours or days if you're type 1 insulin. But even in people who, more and more end up having to go on insulin, or we all know that there's, different types of diabetes on the spectrum in between that you don't hear of as often as type 1 and type 2, but many of those require insulin. So I do think your point of maybe lack of urgency is because of this lack of understanding. But when you look on a global context, 1 out of 2 people who need insulin, period, cannot access it. So that's huge. And that does include people with type 2 that need insulin, because if you're a type 2 and you need insulin, you still are going to suffer about it. So I think it's an issue, but I think the more we can all work on advocacy and awareness of diabetes in general and the negative consequences, the less that will be a problem. And it's something that we can all relate to around the world, which I think can bring us together in a unified way to tackle that particular issue.